Yasu Malagedo. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. 1967, part 3.
Before I take questions, I just want to make a few points. First off, I want to talk directly to our fans. We understand the disappointment that everybody feels year in, year out. The support that we get from you is so vitally important and so appreciated by us and the team.
What a crock of fucking shit. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know where to begin. Well, first off, that was Brendan Shanahan. We all know him as a great player who was definitely a winner with the Detroit Red Wings all those years. And why can you not carry that winning mentality to the Leafs? Who the fuck knows? Why can't anybody? We have great forwards. We have pretty good defense. We have 2 awesome goalies. We have a loyal fan base that has been there since the beginning of time. We believe in our Leafs time and time and time again. And they keep disappointing us time and time and time again. We are absolutely cursed. But is it more than that? Are the Leafs not as good as we think we are? Are we just this delusional that we think somehow this year or the next year is going to be different? Maybe one day we will actually win a Stanley Cup. Maybe one day hell will freeze over too. There's so many possibilities in life. That's all I'm trying to say. But every year, we're just disappointed as Leaf fans. Last podcast I did, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I don't want to bullshit you anymore. There was that chance that I thought we were going to actually lose. I thought to myself, there's no way it's going to happen again. There's no way. We're up 3-1. All we have to do is win 1 game out of 3. That's it. We lose the 1 game. Overtime, we lose. No surprises there. The next game, also overtime. We lose. The series is tied 3-3. We've been in this position before. Unfortunately, we know what's going to happen. We started off great. We came out of that period guns a-blazing. Unfortunately, we didn't get any bullets in the net. Then they scored. Then they scored again. And then they scored again. And then we got 1 goal, which I'm assuming happened in the last couple seconds. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. After that 3rd goal, I stopped watching. I've always said this. I'm a Leaf fan, but I'm a realistic Leaf fan. Now, I know a lot of you are already laughing and saying, if you're realistic, then you should have known that the Leafs are going to fuck up. I hear you. I completely hear you. But at the same time, something came over me. Something said, there's no way in hell that they're going to fuck this up again. You go to Boston as a Leaf fan, I'm sure they'll just laugh at you as soon as you cross the state border. We go to New York, face the Islanders. Poor John Tavares has to be beriddled, if that's a word, with booze and we don't need you anymore and all this shit. And, we wanted to face these guys again. And what ends up happening is that these two teams, Boston and Islanders, somehow get to play each other. And worst case scenario, we're thinking, okay, eventually we're going to have to face one of these guys in the playoffs. Either way, we'll try to get our revenge. But we can't even get over our own fucking curse. That is the playoffs. I'm assuming that one of these days we will actually make it past the first round. And we will have the last laugh. But let's be honest with ourselves. The Leafs are not ready for playoff hockey. A lot of people say that we're just a good seasoned team. Matthews had an awesome year, basically getting 1 goal a game. Other players improved. Great goaltending. The defense improved. Like I said before, I'm glad that Simmons is playing for us. I always said we need more toughness on this team, and let's just really be honest, in the NHL in general. But it's not enough. It's just not enough. So let's try to break down what the fuck happened to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the year 2021. Let's start with the obvious problem that a lot of people don't think it's that obvious, but it's gone to a point where we're just so used to it that it's just part of the jersey. It's crusted on there like the mighty leaf that's on the blue and white. Which, by the way, I've always said that we should change our logo. Yeah. I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for saying that. But let's be honest. How scared of you when you enter the woods on a nice fall day? Oh, a leaf falls on you. Oh my God. Oh, worst case scenario, we'll beat them in the playoffs. That's what happens. That's what everybody thinks now. I always had this great idea where you take a silhouette of Daryl Sittler, who is one of the best Leafs of all time. Everybody respects Daryl Sittler. Awesome guy. Very friendly guy, even to this day. You take a silhouette of him with the beautiful, long, fro-ish hair, and you just have a silhouette of him just posing with the jersey on, stick and all. Just a silhouette, that's it. Just, black plain silhouette. And then in the middle of it, you put a cool, new, improved looking Toronto Maple Leaf logo. Now tell me that wouldn't be a great uniform. We got to have something that represents the Leafs, something that represents power and winning, and something that, is a great representation of what the Leafs are all about. Just saying, keep that in mind. And I'm trademarking that. So if I see that shit in the future, you know where they got the idea. But no, the obvious is our power plays. I found out a little fact that out of the last 110 power plays, we've scored, are you ready for this? 12 times. Let me repeat that. Out of 110 power plays, we have scored 12 times. That's not even remotely close to half. That's not even remotely close to a quarter. 12 times out of 110 power plays. And most of them obviously are 2 minutes. Maybe there's a couple majors in there. Okay, fine. But still, how do you expect to win a game if you're given those 2 minutes and just completely screw it up? Completely just disregard it. It's almost as if now where every time we get power plays, it's just a matter of, okay, we're not going to score, but there's probably a 95% chance that the other team won't score. And they have. They've scored on us shorthanded. It's happened. It's embarrassing. Like, there's times where I'll see the Leafs on a power play, and it looks like the complete opposite. It looks like we're just, defending our net, and there's just no point to it whatsoever. None. And the time flies like that. It just does. I mean, maybe we get sometimes one shot on net in a power play. That's it. How the fuck do you expect to win games like that? On an average night, it could be, let's say, at least maybe 3, maybe even 4 power plays we could get. And we completely fuck it up. We just throw it out the window. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. With the talent that the Toronto Maple Leafs have, we should easily score at least 3 goals a night. I don't give a fuck if we lose 10-3. We should have 3 goals a night. Period. No excuses. We got forwards up the ass. Tavares, Matthews, Marner. Which leads us to the next problem. Mitch Marner. And again, I love Marner. I really do. I mean, the guy can hustle. But he's not a tough guy. Let's just really be honest with ourselves. I made this point before about Austin Matthews, and he's taking hits and smiling and taunting the other team. That's cool. I get it. It builds up, like we don't give a fuck. Keep abusing us. We're going to take it. But at the same time, we got to get goals, to win games. And I mean, let's just be honest, both Matthews and Marner were just pretty much absent from this playoff. I mean, what they have? Marner's didn't have any goals. I think Matthews had 1. And they have the biggest contracts on the Leafs, and it's just not going to cut it, guys. I'm sorry. And they even asked Matthews in the press conference here or whatever, the idea of trading Matthews and maybe switching up the lines or whatever. And of course he's going to defend his teammate, but deep down, he didn't deliver. And really neither did Matthews. I mean, it sucks when you have 2 key players on your team and they didn't, they didn't perform, man. It just sucked. It just absolutely sucked, and they had some chances, but I remember there was one point in, I think it was the last game, where Marner, he could have shot it, and I don't know, the guy took forever. I get it, there's people in front of the net, but you know what? I mean, by that logic, if there's people blocking the net, shoot it. You never know what happens. I always say, you can't score a goal unless you shoot, okay? Wayne Gretzky said it best. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I'm sure he's talking about life as well, but a lot of it, is hockey. If you don't shoot the fucking puck, it's not going to go in net. Unless it fucking grows wings. And, speaking of the puck growing wings, again, Marner, what was it, the second last game or something? He just shot the puck again in the stands. I don't know, I get it. If you see, a girl you like in the stands and you want to throw the puck in there after the game or something, okay, go for it. But, fuck, man, this cost us 2 minutes. And the Leafs in the power play, we're not that, good. And then against the power play forward, the power play, whatever. Fuck, we suck either way. These are 2 minutes we cannot afford at all. I mean, it was brutal in that first game, over the glass. Holy shit. I mean, it's like getting too many men on the ice. I mean, you're at a professional level. How the fuck does this happen? You know what I mean? It's not street hockey. I mean, if you lose the tennis ball, okay, whatever. But, fuck, guys. I mean, we should know better than that. Just shoot the puck. And if anything, I mean, what I saw with Carey Price, and he seemed, his 2 biggest weaknesses are, either screening tip, whatever, or the 5-hole. The 5-hole, he definitely improved the last couple games. That's for sure. The horseshoe up Carey Price's ass has a horseshoe up Carey Price's ass. And then some. I mean, the guy just played phenomenal. I can say that now because we're not facing him anymore until next year. But Holy shit. I mean, he went from being one of the best goalies, and he kind of was in a slump there, and whatever, injured, and now all of a sudden he's back. I mean, it's 2.0. He absolutely killed us. But our goalie was great too. I mean, Jack Campbell played as good as he could. I mean, a couple goals, maybe you could say were a little weak, whatever, but I mean, for the most part, he killed it. I mean, he did a great job, You do think in the back of your mind, though, I mean, like, Mr. Anderson, I mean, if he came in there, would he have done better? Would he have done worse? I don't know. I mean, I think it would have been pretty much the same shit. You know what I mean? We got two great goalies. I mean, you got to go with who's got the hotter streak at the time. He was having an amazing year. Shortened, year, but still great. Didn't show any signs of slowing down, so just, let him play. But another problem we had, we would screen the goalie, especially that second game there, the second last game. And yeah, that was, And that one goal where Campbell, I don't know, he went after the guy's stick or something to clear out the shit. Who cares? Like, I mean, if there's debris there, it's just distracting towards the other players, you know what I mean, that are coming towards you, Let it go, man. Let it go. Sean Connery said it best in The Last Crusade. Let it go. That's it. I mean, just focus on the net and that's it. But other than that, I mean, he did a great job. I mean, you can't say he didn't. I mean, this was a battle of the goalies for sure. I mean, each team, let's just be honest. I mean, I had flashbacks of when the Leafs were playing St. Louis back in the day, Potvin versus Joseph. I mean, that's what it felt like almost. Not as many saves, but, still. It was good. But again, guys, let just Jack Campbell do his thing. Don't screen him. He knows what to do. I don't know if this guy knows what to do.
In Game 5, we came all the way back after being down 3-0, which I thought was a great sign, obviously. And we're at home. The chance to close it out. We had lots of chances at the end of regulation, didn't. And their first chance in overtime, they obviously converted. Game 6. Certainly at the beginning of the game, I was probably the most disappointed I was up to that point in the series with us. And then, after we settled and found ourselves, I think especially after they made it 2-0 in the third, we really started poured on, tied the game, and really controlled the run of play through overtime. And I thought at that point it was the best I'd seen from our team, with the chance to close somebody out, in terms of the way that we were playing.
Blah, 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 blah. Fuck me. First of all, let me just say this about Dubas here. You couldn't have picked a guy who looks more like a millennial. And again, I'm aware I'm a millennial. I've always said this. But that's like calling Steph Curry black. Shaquille O'Neal's words, not mine. Anyways, he just looks like one of those guys where, like, let's say if you made like a hockey movie today, like Slapshot, of course they would have to have like a new owner, come in there, and like he would be like a bad guy, and then he would look like a younger, newer millennial that, the older players wouldn't like. That's what Kyle Dubas is. And again, I'm not trying to, make fun of the guy or nothing, with all respect. But, like right in the beginning there, like he says that, well, it was nice that we came back after, all those goals. You see, that's the fucking problem, is that we're just accepting that, we're this team that, like we always have to come back from something. And that's the mentality, that the Leafs and, the organization has had for years, that, oh, don't worry, we'll come back, We were up 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. We lose 4-3. Did we come back? No. You see my point, guys? Why can't we have a 3-0 lead in the beginning, so we don't have to scramble around last minute and get all this shit? I'm almost starting to think, like, again, it's not even so much the curse. It's so much like this is all fucking planned. And this is the problem with being a Leaf fan, because oh, the team can't be this bad. There's got to be a conspiracy. There's got to be something wrong. It's not our fault. It's their fault. And, the organization's, worth over $1 billion. And maybe it's just a way of making money and giving the fans just a little taste of victory and not too much, because we don't want to spoil them. And then we got to spend more money and they'll expect more winning in the future. Like, it never fucking ends. Could that be possible? I don't know. But again, being a Leaf fan all these years and, being a crazy Leaf fan and, just it doesn't help the conspiracies and it just doesn't help. The fact that every year you can literally write a script to this. Like, it is the same fucking thing. So, no, I don't like the fact that we come back, from these games and win. And yeah, I'm aware what happened last year with Columbus and, we were down and then we came back with all those goals and we ended up winning. And my dad was standing up and my dad thought if he sat back down, like it was superstitious that, if he sat back down again, we would lose. But again, this is the mentality that the average Leaf fan has. The average mental Leaf fan has, that we can't just get over and say, hey, why can't we just play a good game all the time? And I get it. We can't play good all the time. Nobody can play good all the time. But there's got to be some kind of consistency. But this is coming from management. This is coming from management who won a Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings. Now that's hometown hockey. I almost hate to admit that. But again, original 6 team. He knows what he's talking about. Dubas, on some level, knows what he's talking about. Sheldon Keefe, I'm assuming he knows what he's talking about. Right?
Well, and there's been a lot of talk today about that missing killer instinct for the team. As a coach, how can you help to cultivate that so that you're not sitting here a year from now in the same position?
Well, I think it's something, Kristen, that, obviously when it comes to the forefront, something like this, that it's something you talk about, you talk about a lot throughout the season, and you try to cultivate that as best you can through the regular season. But of course, there's nothing like the playoffs and the challenges that come with the playoffs. I think there's
What? Fuck. Killer instinct. Fucking Sleeping Beauty. Holy shit. Again, Keefe seems like a nice guy. Okay? He was a hockey player. We know that. I even have his rookie card. I got it just randomly. I look at the name and I'm like, holy shit, that's him. The Canadian Juniors. That's him. He knows hockey. But that killer instinct, she's right. The reporter, she's right. Where the fuck is our killer instinct, man? Holy shit. We're just getting run over in those games. When's the last time you heard killer instinct with the Leafs? I don't remember that since the Doug Gilmour days. Wendell Clark. Where's the instinct, guy? Where is it? You know what I mean? Every game, again, you can just write the fucking script to it. They start off great, and then, we get scored against, and then you get scored again, and then, I don't know, for some reason, the last 5 minutes, we start trying, we realize, oh my God, it's a fucking hockey game. We got to actually win, but that killer instinct is just, it's not there, man. It's not fucking there. I mean, it's there for a little bit of time, It's like in the beginning of the game, they had a Red Bull and, wears out after 20 minutes, Keefe's got to be on these guys, man. And I see him be on the, the bench, just, yelling there and, really putting an earful sometimes to the refs. And he's there, man. But I don't know, does it rub off against any of the players? I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't fucking see it anymore. I don't see it. Maybe we are just a regular season team. Maybe we're just there for show and, for Canada and, even the division we were in, it's all Canadian, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool, but I said, like, obviously, like, there's a good chance, yeah, we will be in first, and we were, but I mean, let's be honest, we didn't play Boston, we didn't play the Capitals, we didn't play Tampa, what was our real competition? Montreal, Winnipeg, Connor McDavid, that's it. I mean, like, once the playoff hits, it's real. But obviously we got to face the Canadian teams in our division first, obviously. We get that. But, after that, what else do we got? Here's the answer. I don't fucking know. And nobody's known for fucking years now because we don't get past the first fucking round. Nobody's going to know ever. It's almost as if, like, teams, they face us in the first round and they know, like, it's just a mental block. Like, we know we can't get past it, Even poor Sheldon here, as much as yelling he does beyond the white mask there, which is something I don't understand. No one else is wearing a fucking, it's like these players are wearing masks. Like, I get it, we're in a pandemic, I get it. But why is he wearing the mask? Like, I mean, like, he's tested, they're all part of the same shit, who knows? I get it. We're all on the same playing field. COVID's happening. I get it. Certain players. I get it. Like even Nylander was out for a bit there. But Nylander kicked ass this playoff. Him, Spezza. I mean, Campbell are best players by far. But it's all the same playing field. As people were saying, and I mean that's no excuse there. So, like, where's the instinct? I mean, are these guys aware it's the original six? We haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, there's just no instinct to actually go out there and just kick ass for 3 solid periods. And again, I get it. We're not going to be the number one shit all the time. I get it. But sometimes it's good just to, like, have a team be afraid of us. I always say that. Like, that's always the biggest advantage that Boston has had over us all these years. Is, the bad Bruins. They got a reputation. And they keep up that reputation. Okay? We fucking hate it as Leaf fans. But you got to give them credit. They always produce. And they're not scared of anybody. Especially us. So when does it end? I mean, when are we gonna reach in our fucking sacks here and fucking say, hey, we're not gonna take any more of this. We're gonna fucking win. We're gonna come out there, kick ass every night, and fucking dominate. We need that one person to step up and check all the players on our team and lead us to victory.
Thank you. Before I take a few questions, I'll just give everyone an update on how I'm doing and the end of our season. Personally, from the injury, I'm doing really well, continue to progress. I feel very fortunate considering what I went through, the traumatic nature of the injury. I haven't seen it myself. I've only seen a few images of what happened. I have a good sense talking to people closest to me, my teammates, people in the organization of what happened, but really happy and thankful to be where I'm at today and make the progress that I have to this point. I'll continue to get back to 100% health and get myself ready to play and compete as soon as possible. So very fortunate for that. And again, thank you to everybody that across the hockey community, Leafs Nation, and so many people that reached out wishing me a speedy recovery and well wishes. So thank you again for that.
This might be the captain that the Leafs had been waiting for a very long time. Now you're going to say, okay, he hasn't won us a cup yet. He didn't last year. He didn't this year. But look what happened the first game. He got railroaded. I mean, when he got up, or the guy was trying to get him up there, the assistant there or whatever, the med there, yeah, I mean, he looked out of it. He looked like he went 12 rounds with Mike Tyson in 1990. I mean, it looked absolutely brutal. But what did he say here? You know, he just said, you know, thank you very much for everybody, your well wishes. I'm working to be better, and, you know. I get a good feeling from John Tavares. I really do. Like, I feel, you know, he is the man for the job right now. He deserves to wear that C. Absolutely. I really do believe that. With all his experience and wisdom, I really do believe that. When Nazem Kadri left the Leafs, I was very disappointed. You know, a lot of people I know, you know, he seems to be a tradition now where, you know, he just keeps getting suspended in the playoffs for hits. But I thought there was a good chance he would have been the captain. You know, I remember watching that Leaf special on HBO, and, you know, it moved me. It really did. You know, him talking to his father and all that. Like, he seemed like a really smart guy. And I was really sad to see him go, because I thought to myself, he could definitely be a captain. And this is no disrespect against Austin Matthews, but I've always said this. You're captain on your team, you know, just because you're the best player on your team, it doesn't mean you're the best leader for your team. And that, again, that's no disrespect against Matthews. It's just, you know, sometimes you just know. You just have this feeling. And, you know, with John Tavares, I just have this feeling. And, you know, when you have a guy like that who, you know, I said this before, he, you know, would sleep in his Toronto Maple Leaf sheets as a kid, you know, that famous picture. And, you know, you get to not only play for your dream team, but you get to be the captain for your team. And, you know, the first game in the playoffs, like right off the bat, you know, these fuckers just took that away from us. And again, I don't think it was on purpose. I really don't. Although I'm going to hate Perry for the rest of my life. I don't give a shit if he cures cancer. Fuck him. But, you know, how can you not take it personally? You know, and that, right. And again, the first game on our ice, it just completely wiped us out in the beginning. And I respected what Simmons said in the first intermission. You know, we got to do this for our captain. And of course, everyone's thinking that. But I mean, that shit, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody felt like Tavares did, you know, that night. And it was cool to see him, you know, give the thumbs up, you know, which was a really good sign, because, you know, we were like, just give us something you're okay or decent or whatever. So, you know, that's another huge problem right off the bat. First game in our home ice. I said it before, and I'll fucking say it for the next 10 years probably. You know, it throws off our whole shit. You know, so right off the bat, we lose our captain. So now what do we need? We need our other teammates to step up. Who's going to take that C now?
Hey Austin, just wondering, after a couple days to reflect, you know, where you think things got away from you, and what needs to improve here moving forward for this team.
I mean, obviously, you know, I think everybody's still, you know, pretty frustrated and, you know, devastated from, you know, from just a couple nights ago. So I'm not sure I can really share much more than what I did the other night, or you know, about how you know, we're feeling and stuff, because I'm not really sure much has changed.
Well, you got that right. Change. Change is the big word there, ladies and gentlemen. Not much has changed. Fuck. You should put that in on a plaque and just put that above the door in the change room. Not much has changed. And I don't know, the Leafs should just be reminded of that every fucking time they leave that room. You know, and just see if they could somehow change. I mean, again, Austin Matthews. See, there's the ambulance right now. It's too late, guys. We lost 5 days ago. Anyways, so, Jesus. Anyways, what a life. Anyways, you know, like, so many things have to change. Yeah, you know, and again, Matthews had a great season, you know, and a shitty playoff, you know. Either way, he gets paid. Doesn't matter, right? I mean, that's a great thing about sports, eh? I mean, it doesn't matter like how much you fuck up. You will always get that money. But then who gets blamed? The management, the coaches, you know? But it's got to get to a point where, you know, players, you know, and they're even saying this with the Leafs, is that there's certain players, you know, or maybe just all the players are just so comfortable in this organization where it's like, okay, you know, it's $1 billion franchise. It's the original six. So people are going to come see us and support us no matter what. I can't stand that anymore. I personally can't do it, man. I'm telling you. You know, it's I've always said this, you know, I'm not a patient man. I'm an Aries, but every morsel left of my patience goes to the Leafs. I have no patience left. It's gone. It's all for you guys, man. You know, it's that's it, you know. And I get it, you know, they say guys like Marner and Matthews here are young and they're still learning, but you know, keep in mind they're drafted like what, 5 years ago? I mean, like how much longer are we going to use that excuse, you know? And let's really be honest. You want to play this, you know, being comfortable in Toronto, you know, you want to play that card, okay. But, you know, if you're playing for that good of an organization and if you're that comfortable, shouldn't you be advancing even faster? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know you're in a good position, you know, and you're playing for a decent team who you know has the potential to go further. I mean, don't you, you know, somehow like evolve faster because you've been given all this and now you know, okay, well, I want to fucking deliver. You know, I can actually do this. Or you could just sit back and be lazy. Now, I'm not saying Matthews is doing that. But maybe there's a part of him that's like, you know what? Fuck it. You know? I'm still going to be here. I still have a contract. I hope he doesn't think like that. Again, I'm not assuming anything here. I'm just saying what we're all thinking here. I mean, there's so many things that are probably going through this guy's head, you know? I mean, in many ways, maybe it was a sign that we picked the right captain in Tavares. I mean, because who's the leader after Tavares? Everyone's just assuming it's Matthews. Maybe Matthews isn't ready yet. Maybe he never will be. Maybe he'll be ready in the next couple of years. I don't know. You know, just because you score the most goals, it doesn't mean you're the leader. It really doesn't. I've never believed in that. Like your best player should be your captain. I've never believed in that. The best player for the good old C is a person that everybody respects on the team, that has been doing this for a long time, has the experience, and is willing to share it and, you know, just carry on the tradition of all the other great captains that the Leafs have had. And, you know, it's a huge honor to have that. And Matthews is an excellent player. He's one of the best in the league. Absolutely. Like, I'm not going to doubt that. I'm very proud that he's on the Leafs. We got that first pick in 16-17, and we got Matthews. It's fucking awesome. And he loves playing here. You can see that. So I see the frustration on his face. I see the bags under his eyes. He looks fucking tired. This isn't a guy who just went on the ice and didn't try. But at the same time, you know, it sucks because you're put in a position where you're playing for a team where if you don't deliver, like, we're going to come down on you. The Leafs to Toronto is the Yankees to New York. You're going to fucking hear it. I mean, you want to talk about Montreal. I mean, in Montreal, if they lose a game, they can't go out after. Like, they're going to get, they might get a beatdown if they go to like a restaurant or a bar. The Leafs, they can do that. Worst case, you know, some kid will come up to you and ask for an autograph. Maybe they've had it too easy, you know? But I can see the frustration. I can see that he wants to do good, but it just sucks when, you know, you're just in that rhythm of, you know, I don't like to say this, but like failing again and again in the playoffs. Like, it's really hard to just get out of that. And, you know, you got to ask yourself, like, if you're a younger player, you know, with given this responsibility after Tavares is out, how well can you possibly do? Like, will you step up to the plate? I mean, it's always different in the playoffs. It's do or die. You gotta, if you lose, there's no second chance. Or in this case, the Leafs had 3 chances. But, it sucks, and it's going to get to a point in, a player's life, like with Matthews, is that can I carry that momentum to the playoffs?
Hi, Mitch. When you do your reflecting, what do you think is the biggest hurdle this team needs to jump over to finally get over the hump and win a round?
Well, I mean, we had 3 cracks at it. Obviously, it sucks that we didn't get it done. We needed to score goals, and we didn't do that. And I think this year we had the talent, we had the will, we had the fight, and just didn't come through. And it seems like it's always kind of the same words at the end of the year, and it's unfortunate and it sucks, but it's just time to go to work again and get your body ready for next year and make sure you're just a better person than you were this year.
Oh, fuck. Keep in mind, he repeated that statement like 3 times in this little interview here. He should definitely. I mean, I don't know. With this mentality, no offense to Mitch Marner, I don't think he'll ever be captain material. Again, great player. Like, when he wants to be. Okay? Mitch Marner, I don't know. To me, I would compare him to Theo Fleury, who I've always loved, who me and him had sexual relations with the same woman, which is a story for another time. The point is that if Mitch Marner had the toughness that Theo Fleury had, holy fuck, what an amazing player he would be. And again, people are going to say, oh, he's still young, oh, he's still learning. You know what? Learn quick, learn faster. Okay? I'm telling you, we're fucking impatient here as Leaf fans. Okay? And again, it's not just one person's fault that the Leafs fucked this up again this year. But I don't know, Marner doesn't seem to have that instinct. He doesn't see, I don't know, he's just frustrated, And in the beginning of this, he said, okay, he closed off all the social media shit, which I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're in the public eye, you should not have social media. You shouldn't have Twitter, Snapchat, whatever the fuck, TikTok o'clock. I don't give a fuck. Just don't have anything. Okay, focus on your career and fuck what everybody else says. So at least he's smart enough to do that. But sometimes obviously Wayne Gretzky is one of the best players of all time. I'm not doubting that. I still say Bobby Orr is the best player of all time. That's just my opinion. But a lot of people always forget about good old Mario Lemieux. And, that guy had it all. He was tough, the skills, great leader, awesome player, What I'm trying to say here is that I just wish Mitch Marner was just tougher. That's all. I mean, maybe that's not his thing. I don't know, but it just sucks. Okay, if you're not going to be a tough guy, okay, fine, whatever. It's a new game of hockey over the years. I get it. But, you got to score goals, man. And I get it, the frustration there. And, we played against a really good goalie. But, I mean, I mean, for the money you're getting, man, again, I got to say it. We expected more from you. We really did. You and Matthews, we both expected a lot more from you. It just sucks that you didn't do it, and you factor in all this shit, and it just makes the whole team look bad, and but repeating the same shit 3 times, that's what really got me in this interview, and okay, so you're gonna be better next year. So you did that the year before, be better next year, blah, 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 blah. I mean, like what has it gotten you? Nothing. You know what I mean? Like what? Like the fuck, man. I mean, like it's the same song every fucking playoff. You know? It's almost like we're trained to say this at this point. You know, oh, better luck next year. You know, like it's so frustrating. You have no idea, you know. And there's a part of me that, you know, is like, okay, will Marner be traded? You know, I mean, the irony is, like, we waited forever for Nylander to be Nylander. Now he is, and maybe we should put him with Matthews, and now Marner, all of a sudden, maybe now he's our biggest bargain chip, you know, in the offseason. I don't know. Who knows? You know? And then we got to worry about other players that we're going to, you know, sign in the offseason. And, you know, if players don't want to come back, I mean, you can't blame them. Can you?
Joe, thanks for doing this. Might as well ask the main question. What's the future for Joe Thornton? Do you still want to play? And is there a future with you all worked out with the Leafs?
Yeah, this came so sudden. I really haven't had time to think about it. You know, first and foremost, you know, I have to be a dad for a little bit here. It's, you know, but yeah, I feel really, really healthy. I feel really, really good. But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't made any decision yet. But yeah, I feel really good, and that's a good sign. But I got to take some time and be a dad for now.
Now, is it just me, or is Joe Thornton being almost like a dad type for all of his career? Especially him coming to the Leafs. I mean, the guy's in his 40s. He's still playing hockey. Holy shit. I mean, that alone is a huge accomplishment. Now, okay, nobody expects him to be Joe Thornton 2005. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, he's here to help the Leafs. And I'm sure he's being a father to a lot of these young players. And he's seen a lot of shit. And you know what? You can't blame him for maybe going to another team next season. You can't. I mean, even Hyman, too. I mean, if he goes to another city to play, I don't blame these guys. I don't. You know? Again, there's so much pressure to play for the Leafs. It's rich in history. We were actually a pretty kick-ass team way, way, way back in the day. Even growing up, I remember those early 90s. Holy shit, we sucked. But mid-90s, you know, 93-ish, whatever, we were pretty good. We had a good run there. We all know what happened. And once again, Montreal got the last laugh. Are you seeing a pattern here? All I'm saying is, if these guys want to leave, I don't mind. Do I want Thornton and Hyman, you know, guys like, awesome guys like this to stay? Absolutely. But if they want to leave, leave. Like sometimes when you're in a bad position, you sometimes just got to say, you know what? I fold. I got to go. I got to think of myself. I mean, Matthews, Marner, they're in contracts. You know, they know they're stuck here. I don't want to say it like that, like they're forced to be here or something. But, you know, when you get older, you learn that you have options. And well, actually when you're younger too, you know you have options too, but you know, sometimes, you know, you just think it's going to last forever. And guys like Thornton, you know, I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to play. I mean, he looks great out there, you know. Maybe he's trying to teach these guys too some stuff, and I don't know. I mean, again, like this is another huge problem. Not just the Leafs, but just in general. Like when a team does bad, I mean, you have no idea what's happening in the dressing room. You have no idea what's being said, who secretly hates who. I'm not saying that Thornton or anybody like hates anybody. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you know. And Thornton's saying, you know, he doesn't know yet if he's going to stay here, you know, like who knows? And again, you can't blame him because, you know, I mean, this is a bad situation, man. I mean, this is bad. I mean, we should, like the Leafs with the team we have, if we play to our full potential, everybody's healthy, everybody's playing, there's no reason why every year, especially the last couple of years, we should make it to the semifinals. Not lose against Columbus. I still don't get that. But, it sucks. It really does. We should ride into the sunset here, like the motorcycle in the background here, Sons of Anarchy style. Not so much the way it ended, of course, but I'm just saying, like we should all have that awesome ending, and if Thornton wants to leave, Hyman, I wish you guys all the best. I really do. And it's no hard feelings. But then again, maybe it's that nice Canadian mentality that, doesn't keep these guys here. Maybe we should, be like, hey, man, like we, hey, we could have something here, we could lose again. No, I'm just kidding. But, seriously, we should, try again. Oh, we're going to lose again. Oh, just again, the killer instinct should kick in, shit runs downhill. If it's not killer instinct from management, if we're not pushing these guys, from the top, it's just gonna, it's gonna be shit. That's it. So all I'm saying is, a lot of times Leafs get, some players we think, oh, we're gonna win the cup, and it's just the furthest fucking thing from the truth, and like everybody's got to play together. And if there's some people that don't want to be here or, feel they can go somewhere else, it's cool, man. You know what I mean? It's not like we're like producing, awesome numbers. I mean, we are in the regular season, but not so much in the playoffs. It's cool. You want to leave? It's all good. Sometimes, you got to know when you're in a bad situation and you got to say, you know what? We got to re-up. We got to start from scratch. And we got to find out where the good things lay and like what are the key factors to a good team, like who are the really good players, the players that we should be focusing on, and build from there.
Jack, I just wonder if you can, at the risk of asking an obvious question, can you summarize how you feel at this moment and how the team felt sort of in the locker room, what that seems like?
It's just tough. Like, I just think of how hard our team battled, and for it to end on a goal, first goal of my career, and happening in Game 7, it's not acceptable. And, I think the team counts on me to be better, and I know I can be a lot better than that. So I'm going to get back to work and be better.
Wow. Exactly. You see that car out there? That's exactly what he said words right out of my mouth. The emotion that Jack Campbell is showing here is just absolutely incredible. This is what I think every single Leaf fan in Toronto was expecting from every player, management in these interviews, just to look like this, act like this. First of all, look at what he's wearing. He's wearing a beautiful Toronto Maple Leaf hat. He's got the shirt on, Toronto Maple Leafs. He's, and again, no disrespect to Matthews or nothing, wearing that yellow balloon hat. I don't know what the fuck that was. But, I mean, there you go. Like, he's still in uniform. You know what I mean? Like, I think that really counts for something. And you could feel his emotion, He said it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. I couldn't have put it better, And he said he's going to try even harder, which, I if there's one player that could easily say, or it doesn't even have to even say that, it's this guy right here. He played his fucking heart out, man. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every time the Leafs do well in the playoffs, they have an excellent goalie. Okay, the Leafs always need a good goalie. We have two excellent goalies right now. And it was a good bet to bet on Campbell throughout the playoffs. And it did pay out. Absolutely, it did. We lost. Okay, I get it. But he was excellent. I don't know, it was just me. I'm watching him here in the interview here. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Goon with Sean William Scott there, which, by the way, is his best role he's ever done. I know we all love him as Stifler, but I mean, it's kind of, first of all, he kind of looks like him in that movie. Two, it's kind of reminiscent of the way he acts in that movie. And again, I know it's just a movie, but like, you know, the passion that character had in the movie was, you know, really overwhelming at times. And even here, I mean, you could see it in Jack Campbell's eyes and face, and, you know, it's just, yeah, I mean, he is defeated, man. I mean, you know, but like he's, you know, this is what every player should look like right now and act like right now. You know, I mean, I just wanted to close off with that last interview because, I mean, like this is what all the players should feel like. And I'm sure, you know, I know you're going to say, you know, people, you know, act differently in tragedy and all that. Some people get angry, some people are down, some people don't feel like talking. I get, but, you know, I mean, as Leaf fans, like, you know, this is, I'm glad I'm seeing this. I really am. I mean, you know, great addition to our team. He had a great regular season too. I mean, he couldn't have done more, man. I mean, Mr. Campbell, you did an excellent job. Awesome job. I mean, it was really the battle of the goalies this series, for sure. You know, I mean, was Carey Price that much better? You could debate that. You know, their players scored more goals than us. That's what beat us. Our players did not step up like they should have. Okay? And instead, I'm watching an even sadder face on Mr. Steve Dangle, who I love watching after every game, you know, and him freaking out. And it's not even so much him just freaking out, it's just him just speaking the truth. I mean, you could tell, again, he's coming from a genuine place as well. God bless him. You know, but it just sucks, you know. I don't feel like flipping out. I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted through all out, you know, this shit. And, you know, all I want to do in my lifetime is see the Leafs win a Stanley Cup. And again, you can quote me on this. I've probably said this in the past. I'll say it again. The Leafs will win a cup by 2030. It sounds like a long time, and if you're a Leaf fan, it seems like a fucking eternity. But I guarantee you, they will win a cup by the year 2030. How the fuck it's going to happen? Please don't ask me. I have no idea. I don't know how the fuck we can make it past the first round, not alone a cup. So, but it will happen. It will happen. Okay? Cheapest seats in this stadium are what, 130, 35 bucks? For what, this? Scotia Arena, you got a Leaf management, the team, the player, like, you guys all got to wake the fuck up here. You know, I mean, stop the abuse, please. And even overall, I'm thinking, you know, like what was the main problem here with the Leafs? And I figured, you know what, go straight to the source. I call it the ACC in the last podcast, and that's how tired and frustrated I am. I'm still, and probably like a lot of Leaf fans, we're still living in the past. That's why I can't get. I forget it's called Scotia Arena, and yeah, okay, it was nice that they made the red Scotia logo blue. Yeah, that'll save us. And you know, I figured, you know, fuck it, let me give these guys a call and find out why the Leafs suck. I called them, and of course, you know, the number's out of service there. No one's picking up. Obviously, it's, you know, the times we're living in and all that, but I don't know. I personally feel, I think they're just too embarrassed to pick up the fucking phone. So I figured, fuck it, I'm going to call the Sky Dome. And I'm going to find out from the Blue Jay organization why these guys are doing so bad. And I called. I actually called. I got nothing else to do. I figured, fuck it, let's call. So I call. The guy picks up the phone. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, how are you? Great. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to get to the chase. I'm going to get to the point here. I don't want to fuck around anymore. I asked him, I've been a Leaf fan all my life. Just answer me this one simple question. Why do the Leafs suck so much? And he kind of laughed at first. You know, he said, I don't know if I'm the person you should be asking this. And I told him, I said, look, I tried calling the Scotia place and nobody picked up. Surprise, surprise. Okay, why don't I just give you a call? There you go. And the crazy thing is, he went into this whole. I wish I could play it, but who knows? I don't want to get sued, whatever. But I'll just give you the cliff notes of what he said. And a lot of it was because of Ballard. Oh, that name still haunts us all. Okay, we should have had Gretzky here. That's another story that I told on the first podcast I did. Anyways, he talked about Ballard. He talked about how the organization isn't organized. The fans just put up with this shit. He went on a good, I'd say, 20 to 30 second rant. And it's almost as if like he prepared for my call. Like he knew I was going to call and I was going to ask this question. He knew. And that is fucking awesome. I'm like, oh, like maybe the guy's going to hang up on me. Maybe the guy's not going to understand what I'm saying. Maybe he's going to think it's a prank call. Maybe it's Guy Lafleur fucking with us. Pourquoi? The point is, he knew exactly what to say. It's almost, again, it was like it was scripted. Maybe he's gotten this question before. And then I thought to myself, how sad is this that he answered the question right away and he knew exactly what to say and what exactly was the problem? You see what I mean? Like, as Leaf fans, we know what to say to these questions. We know the answers. But it's not up to us as the fans. It's up to management. It's up to the players. It's up to the coaches. It's not up to us. But it's up to them if they want to listen to us. And actually say, hey, enough of the abuse. I'm sick of this shit too. Let's do something about it. But it's that sad that this guy knew just everything, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And when's it going to stop? But I don't know. I have no idea when it's going to stop. But I'll tell you this, and I said this in the first podcast I did about the Leafs. And you know what? As a loyal, stupid Leaf fan, I went back on it. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try my best to do it. I'm really gonna try. Okay. Unless I go somewhere and the TV's on, that's not my fault. But the point is, I'm done with regular season hockey. There's no point watching it anymore. There really isn't. Next season, forget it. I haven't been able to afford a ticket for a very long time. But, I'm not saying everyone else has to do this too. But, why are we supporting this team for this results and, over and over again, What's the old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Shame on us for falling for this shit. I'm not going to watch any regular season games next season. I'm not. Fuck it. If they make the playoffs, that's 7 games I can watch and cry again. Fine, whatever. But I'm not going to watch any more regular season games. I don't care if we do some trade and we get Connor McDavid here. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to watch any games. Fuck it. Guys, it's not worth it anymore. It's not worth it. It's not. It's bad enough. Every time I go to the bathroom, I gotta pass my Leaf shrine. Where I got lots of cards, pictures, a lot of good shit. I got a poster of Doug Gilmour. Dougie, the killer. Remember those days? Oh, fuck. God, I remember those days. And, of Doug Gilmour wearing the milk cow tights there. He was doing those commercials for, what's it called? Milk. And real milk. None of this fucking almond milk shit that people, for some reason, I don't know, they think it's almond milk, and I don't know. I agree with Ron Swanson. And, Dougie. You could say that again. Holy cow. Awesome. But, that's fine. I gotta live with that. That's fine. That's money well spent. But I'm not going to waste any more time on electricity to watch these games. I refuse. I'm not going to do it. Okay? Give us something to root for, Leafs. Please. You know, let's next year's goal, make it past the first round. Okay? Even if you got to pay somebody off like they did in baseball a few years ago. You know, fuck it. Just, you know, do something. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. And, you know, because I'm sure there's no refs in organized sports that have ever taken bribes, right? But anyways, don't do that. I'm just kidding. I'm just pissed off. It's hotter today. I can't record with the fucking AC on here. It makes too much noise. Oh. Leafs, what are we going to do with you? Better yet, what are you guys going to do? I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Aren't you guys sick and tired of it? Don't you guys want to go somewhere and not be reminded of the number 1967? Part 3.